Welcome! This is Abby.
And Joy.
And for our episode number 10, let's talk about
Sexual Health, Part 1.
Ganahan kasi Joy at basta mga ingunahan nga topic.
Truly.
Maka-proud!
So, disclaimer lang, no? Patnubay na magulang ay
Kailangan, SPG. Ano yun? Striktong pakikinig ang kailangan. Kasi bawal ang pa-inosente dito.
So, according to World Health Organization or WHO, sexual health is a fundamental to the overall health and well-being of the individuals, couples, and families, and to the social and economic development of communities and countries. In addition, sexual health as well, when viewed affirmatively, requires a positive and respectful approach to sexuality and sexual relationships, as well as the possibility of having pleasurable, safe sexual experiences free of coercion, discrimination, and violence.
Perfect.
Yeah, but according to you, Day, how do you define sexual health?
I would just add on to that one because that is like by the book, no? Lisod kay siya sabton. Mura kog nag-thesis.
Nag-nosebleed ka, Day.
Nosebleed ko, Day. It's like sexual health for me is looking after your reproductive system. Reproductive system wherein the private parts of your body like your vagina, your penis, ana ba?
Wow. Very intimate ka siya, no?
Intimate ka siya. Like,
detailed.
Yes, looking after it. Like, you do annual checkups. Like,
that's
if
true.
you're a lady, you need to have your annual pap smear. Or, like, you need to have transvaginal ultrasound from time to time, or if it's really needed. That is what I considered overall health when it comes to sexual aspect. And then, if you have, as much as possible, we need to avoid multiple partners. But if diligid na ninyo siya makaya, no? So, that's your responsibility to have a safe sexual practices. Okay, para you will be refrain also from having sexually transmitted disease, which is really rampant nowadays.
That's true, Day.
Yeah.
So, if I may add as well, no? Sexual health is also like a holistic approach for me. It involves your physical, as you've mentioned earlier on, your emotions as well, because you are investing your emotions, and your mental as well as your social, because, you know, to be sexually involved, you need someone, isn't it?
Correct.
And it could be a spiritual and a financial as well, because it involves financial aspect of your life. For example, like unwanted pregnancy due to sexual activity, isn't it? You need to, because you're not financially prepared, so it's involved financial aspect of your life. So now that we're talking about sexual health, why is it important, Dai, to discuss sexual health?
I believe nowadays we are really open to that topic, sexual health, as compared before. Like if you talk about sexual health, murag ew or murag mo ang mga tao kay mulikay good ba?
It's like a taboo, no?
Yeah, a taboo. But nowadays, it's really important to really focus on our sexual health because it can make us healthy as a person.
Oh, yes, of course.
It can make us happy because it's pleasurable, and at the same time, it's also a distressing. It releases hormones like happy hormones when you do that one. It's like you make love.
That's true.
Ana gani. And also we can also be overall health as well, because if we look after our sexual health, we can determine early detection of cervical cancer, because
true.
we're really into that one. As we said, we're not only focusing physical health, but also we also focusing on the holistic health well-being, including na po ang sexual health. So,
Yeah, that's true. And for me as well, that it is vital as well to discuss it in order to, raise awareness and education, especially as you've mentioned nowadays, where there is an increasing number or alarming numbers of unwanted pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections, for example, gonorrhea, HIV, and in some countries as well, sexual health is not really discussed in school due to taboo. Like, for example, like based on our experiences, isn't it? It's not part of our curriculum, and even discussing with our parents, we kind of feel like embarrassed to discuss it in terms of like being involved in like anything that is related to like sexual health, or even just the reproductive system, isn't it? Or reproductive education. It's not really a thing that is taught back in the days. And as well as student in the primary and secondary school, where parents don't even make it as a topic in a family, or a like parent to child conversation. So that's why for me nowadays it's really important. And do you reckon, though, now that we were discussing it in terms of like our past experiences, do you reckon that it should be like really rigid in teaching it in school?
I think they already practicing this one, sexual education here in this country. I don't know in the Philippines though, but I believe it's really important. It's the same with financial education. Sexual education is as important as the financial aspect, which is not being thought or getting awareness about that one, because as you said earlier, it isn't part of our curriculum. So I think it's very good that we need to have sexual education as part of the curriculum, because in the Philippines, majority are like Catholics and conservative individuals. They think that it's inappropriate for it to be taught, and none or a few are open to that one. So like it's not even a shock to me that Philippines is a growing population, because some are not being educated to have an understanding about sex, even na, and it can be seen in our population. If magstorya og sex, like for them bastos na dayon. Tanaw sa imuha, like kung makigchika ka nga, uy kani siya kusog kay ta makig sex sa ani-ani kay bigaon na dayon, which is for us in ana gyud permi ang concept ba. But you know what, when I noticed that one, those that are vocal to that topic are the ones that really understand what sexual health is all about. But those are pan-innocente. Mura jud mo na say dagang kay mabuntis. Kabantay jud ko kana pag high school. Mura based on experience ba?
Mga innocentity.
Lagi. Tinuod jud ni based on experience, like ay kani si Avi mabontes gyud ni wapani di ni makagraduate college ba, ko nga kamo lagi bantay lagi may kamo mauna na kong buntis lagi tan-awa karon asa naman mautong na katong nagkanang niingon ako nga mabuntis kog una mo toy perting daghan kay kuan kay pa-innocente kaayo.
I think they're practicing what they preach.
Yes, truly. So I'm practicing what I preach as well. So mao gani na dili ka na ansay panganan na unsay term ana day?
Ignorance of the law excuses
yes,
no one.
correct.
Yeah.
Ignorance of the law excuses no one. So, dili jud ta magpa-hypocrite og mga ingon ana, no? So, we need to really educate ourselves when it comes to sexual matters. Like, simple as telling that mauni ang vagina sa babae, mauni ang penis sa lalaki. Imo pa jud flower. Maglibog na nun ang bata, di ba?
Yung ng male version.
Ano sa male version? Ano, wako ka ba? Basta ako pa premium ko, flower sa say flower di. Ang bata mo ko bang flower.
Saging siguro?
Saging siguro, no? Kasi man yung saging lakatan,
Tundan.
turon. Ana gani, kana ganing inana ba di pagid maingon indirect kaayo.
And I mean, yeah, the importance of like sex education, as you've mentioned earlier, is very important for children as well, and even young people, especially teenagers, who like, the hormones is all over the place because they're growing up, and so that they will know as well the importance or value of sexual health, and also to aid them in having a healthy relationship in the future. more so for them not to engage in any sexual act at a young age, and to be mindful and careful as well who they engage in any sexual activity, both offline and online.
Correct.
Yeah.
True.
So in the digital age, isn't it, where like technology is always evolving, like social media, for example, how can we protect the children or young people in relation to any sexual activity?
I believe that mura na po di siya learning nato no, or take away ani nga topic no. I believe is number one is you think before you click. Unsa man ako pasabot ani, although nowadays we are used to share our life to the world, like it's really the norm now or a habit, but sometimes no, it is still better not to share everything, because I believe what they don't know they can't ruin.
That's true.
Yeah, mo bitong naay privacy nga term, because sometimes we need to be private individual.
That's true.
Like, do not overshare your life. Sa una manggani, nabuhi manggani tagwalay cellphone. And those were really the good memories that we are having. We build strong connections, we build memorable conversations. Lingaw to na life na you don't need to document everything. Because sometimes ma-misunderstood sa mga tao ang imong i-post. Even if, like, example, you just posting your niece, like she has a lovely dress, but the ito, you're taking the predators a chance to,
Yeah, it's like you're attracting the predator, because, pedophiles hide in different faces.
As in, and I cannot even imagine how they really have the connections, or they really get ideas about getting social media ngayon. Ana gid sila kagrabe ba? The resources that they're doing just to feed their,
like in hacking as well. It's easy, and there's a lot of scammers that they find scamming is just a normal thing for them. So I think they don't have that sort of guilt feeling or conscience if they scam someone.
correct.
Yeah. And as an adult as well, though, now that we are an adult, I also need to like educate myself about social media and internet, like setting up my privacy details, as you've mentioned. Need to be responsible and accountable what you post, like in terms of pictures, and be mindful as well in terms of like, involving children in like posting some pictures. And you need to also inform and encourage young people, for instance, not to share any personal or intimate details, and the importance as well of saying no to peers if they feel the pressure. Like, for example, they will text you, oh, can you send me this? Can you send me that? Can you send me a naked picture? Can you show me your face? Or can you show me like you're wearing a bra? But the importance of saying no is really, really important in those instances or situation, because if you said yes, they will use it as an advantage or a tool to bully you or take something from you in return.
Correct.
And then you feel all those negative emotions like shame, guilt, embarrassment. So try as much as you can to say no. That's the important thing. And as like me, I'm not a mom or a parent yet, but I have like younger brother, and just maintain an open dialogue by having an open communication. Like, for example, just say frequently, with teenagers nowadays, they don't normally share, isn't it? They try to keep it to themselves, but just try as much as you can to be open to them. Like, you can just encourage them, like, oh, you can tell me, you can trust me. So that could be a good start or a good point. And just slowly as well educating them about sexual health and the importance of it. Like, for example, when you get to your 20s, you might end up having in a relationship, and if you are sexually involved, make sure you use condom or any protective material or something like that, just to prevent you from, or just to prevent from any sort of like unwanted pregnancy or any sexually transmitted infections, anything, some sort of like that. And as well as they, spend time with their kids, no matter how busy life can be, isn't it? Like, just spending their time watching TV, using their tablets or iPhone. Back in the days, isn't it? Because we don't have that sort of thing. We enjoy our free time outside playing, isn't it?
Yes.
In that way, we develop our
social
skills.
Yes,
exactly.
So nowadays, to be honest, it's really obvious that most teenagers don't have the social skills. Like, they're very scared with the world, and then they're hiding it through social media. Like, sometimes they tend to have more time in the social media, getting a lot of viewers, followers, making sure, because they think that the more followers or the more viewers that they have, the better they feel. But no, always remember that social media is not your family. Always remember that one, because at the end of the day, it's between loving yourself and at the same time knowing yourself. And as you mentioned earlier, it's really right to say no, because you know your worth. And do not be dictated by people's opinion on how they live their life, like sexually. If they really wanted to be active, like gana, and then you're not comfortable with that, leave them be. Even though you're on the same age group, but if you're not practicing what others are practicing because you think it's not good for you, then so be it. Ayaw jud ka pressure, because sometimes teenagers diri gid mo gawas ang peer pressure. Yes.
Di mo gawas ang imong a rebellious stage.
Yes.
Because you are in hype with all sorts of emotions. Your
Correct.
hormones are all over the place. So that's important as well na you parents or even adults like me as a big sister and an auntie, I have a responsibility to give guidance and support to my younger siblings and even my nephews or nieces in terms of this aspect, or even in general in life, and always, as we've mentioned, have an open dialogue, but as well as like actively listen and learn how the generation now, because
Very
we
different.
are so accustomed, like back in the days, we always make a comparison like, oh, this is how we are back in the days, but we forgot that we're living in the present and the generation is different nowadays. So you need to adapt as well. You need to learn how the generation, so that they can trust you and they can communicate, or you can have an open communication as well, isn't it?
Correct. It's like the past has different. The past is past, but as we said, if we have values, we can apply it in the present. But at the same time, we have boundaries. Like parents, we need to respect you as a parent, but you should also respect us as your children. Ana gani, fair naman gud ron. Sometimes ang mga anak na mga saba sa mamag papa. Sakto ba? No?
It's the other way around.
Yes.
But that's why you need to be not strict but firm with your children as well. That's why, guidance and support is really, I believe it's really important as well in raising, your children, or even like as an adult guiding younger generation.
Correct.
So that's it, guys. So this is just part 1, no?
Lagi.
Malaki na sa teksturya ba?
Lagi mo ba ito? Kailangan na ito
Part 2!
Yes, kasi kanino broad kayong sexual health. So
there's a lot of topic to talk to.
Yeah.
And that's why we decided to have a part 2 again.
Yeah, kay, you know what? Sexual health is really, my God. Part 2 is...
Is that your favorite topic?
Part 2, abangan. Ari na manggawas atong mga kahugawan.
So, Dai, let's go for our quotes of the day.
Okay.
So, ayaw basta-basta isuko ang bandera. Unya na kung 50 na ka.
In English, do not surrender your crown jewel just yet. Wait until your 50s. Bugal-bugal.
That's true.
So we hope you enjoyed today's podcast and learn a thing or two to become the best version of yourself.
As we always say, every day is a learning.
This is Avi.
And Joy.
Trolling like a proud.
Till the next one.
See you soon.